Well, hello, friends. Real quick before we kick off the episode, I have to let you know about something exciting. I am seriously considering having an upgraded version of this podcast where you get bonus episodes and exclusive content. But here's the deal, I'm trying to decide what that content and those episodes should be. I do have some ideas, and I was wondering if you could vote really quick and tell me what you think about what would entice you, what would be interesting to you to get as bonus episodes on this podcast. For example, deeper dives into topics. Maybe I'm answering questions that many of you ask about starting or growing a business. Maybe even overhearing coaching calls, something like this. It would be a paid, upgraded version of this podcast, not very expensive at all, probably just a handful of dollars a month, but it be extra content for you to help you along your journey. My whole goal is to help you build your business dream. And I would love to offer you even more because some of you are asking for it. So if you could just look down in the show notes right now, there's two ways you can give me your answers. Number one, I have a Google form with 5 quick questions. It can be anonymous. You just answer them and vote on what would be interesting to you. Or number two, I have a voice memo system. You can just click it and you could just leave a voice memo with your phone right now and just record it and tell me what kind of topics, what things would be interesting to you behind the scenes, market news, what would be things that would be extra that would be really valuable to you. So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode.
Well, hello, this is Kimberly Brock, and for over 20 years, I've been running my own businesses that have not only been profitable, but personally fulfilling to me. So now I'm on a mission to help other new business owners, just like you, make money doing what you love too. Now we're going to have some fun, so let's get started. Well, hello, it's episode 116, and I am so glad you're here today because you are in for a treat. So buckle up, everyone. I'm so excited you're here. I have a very special guest on the show. Her name is Kim Aguilar. She is a landscape design and consultant, and her business is called The Southern Daisy. Y'all, she's awesome. You are going to learn so much from her. You are going to be inspired. You are going to be motivated. You are going to see that living your business dream is possible. Yes, it is totally doable, totally possible for you. If you have a passion or skill, you can make money doing it, okay? So if you are new here, I am just so excited that you found this podcast because I know it's going to be invaluable to you along your journey here, okay? So make sure you hit subscribe, whether you're an Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever app it is, hit the follow or the plus sign so that you get notified when new episodes are dropped because I know that they are going to help you. Because seriously, when you're starting a business, it's confusing and scary and overwhelming. And I want to help alleviate all of that so that you can just get to living your dream, right? Also, too, I have a private Facebook group. Did you know that? For new owners just like you. You can ask questions, you can get support from others, so make sure you scroll down below and click on that. And I have a handy 16-step checklist that will help you get started and stay on track with everything you need to do. So 2 things you need to do, subscribe to the podcast and then scroll down to get access to the group and the downloads and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's get on with the episode. I'm so glad you're getting to hear from Kim Aguilar. She originally found me through my podcast and then was a coaching client of mine. And we immediately clicked right away. She was so driven. I could just see it all over her face. She was like, I'm about to quit my job. I need help. I've got a list of questions. And we went through everything and we worked on her plan, her mission statement and everything. And it was just so awesome to see because she moved forward very quickly. I mean, this was fast-tracked. And she got her business started, quit her full-time job, and is now doing this full-time. Y'all, she just quit her job in July. It is December, very early December of 2021. And it's just amazing. She's another example. I know I had Jen Bolts on a few weeks ago who was talking about her vintage home goods Etsy store. Well, I've got Kim on today who has a landscape design and consulting business. And it's really interesting because she worked for a big commercial landscape company, one of the largest in the nation for a long time. And she just knew that she wanted to start her own business at some point. And I'm going to summarize her approach so you get it as you are listening to her, okay? Here was her approach. Number 1, she followed her instinct. She had this yearning. She wanted to start a business doing what she loved. And she said, I'm going to do it. Number 2, she sought out all her resources. She listened to podcasts. She got coaching from me, which was awesome, right? I'm so glad that she did that. she sought out resources. She was proactive. She did what she needed to do to get herself set up for success. Number 3, she took consistent action. She was working in the background, getting everything ready, and she's taking consistent action today. That is how you get this done. And she's doing it. She is amazing. She's fun. She's God-fearing. She's so awesome at what she does. She loves plants and landscaping, and for people to just enjoy having a yard and landscaping and plant life that they love. So you'll get to hear her whole story. I'm just so excited to have her on. And I hope you listen all the way through because she really gives some good nuggets of information. And I know that she is going to inspire you along your journey too. So that's it. On to the episode. I can't wait for you to hear Kim Aguilar from the Southern Daisy. Okay, enjoy. So, Kim, I am so excited you are here. You have no idea how happy I've been that you agreed to be on this podcast because I have to share you and your story with the world. So, welcome, Kim, to the She's Just Getting Started podcast.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here. I feel like I have arrived. I'm just so excited.
You are so welcome. It's like a queen coming in her gown. She's like, I'm here. This is my day. This is my wedding day.
I am here.
You are here. You have arrived. Well, I could not be happier to share you with the world, as I said, and to hear about your whole journey and how you followed that yearning in your heart. And now here you are with a full-fledged business. You're full-time doing this. You got to quit your job and you're living your business dream. And it's just so wonderful. So I can't wait to hear your story. So tell us about where you are today, what's going on with your business, and then we'll go into your backstory.
Okay. So I'm living my best life these days. I am a full-time landscape designer and consultant. The company I started, in July. So it's not been too long now.
My goodness.
A couple of months.
Uh-huh.
I am continuously busy doing designs. I have just started my blog, launched that 2 weeks ago. So super excited. I am helping people enjoy where they live,
Yes.
creating that serenity when they come home at the end of a busy, stressful day, and just loving every second of it.
Loving their home. I get that, because many people know my story. I had a business with home accessories, and that's kind of what I did. I wanted people to be excited where they lived. It was called In This Very Room, and it was about creating that space around you that you love. So I get that totally about landscape design, so that when you drive up to your house, you're like, oh my gosh, I love my home. I'm so excited. It represents me. Yeah, it represents me. So I love that. So you're here, you're doing this. Now share with us how you got here, because that's what everyone wants to know. Tell us your story and your approach and how you got this business going.
I'm going to take you way back.
Do it.
Back to first, when I was about 4 years old, I remember going to a plant nursery with my mom to pick out her yearly annuals. Those are flowers. And it's like in that moment, the bug bit me. I fell in love with everything, plants, flowers, trees. And I remember just always being fascinated with how things worked in the ground and wanting to be out playing in the dirt. Once I had my youngest daughter go to kindergarten, that's when I went to college. And I went to school for horticulture, which is a fancy name for the science behind plants, trees, shrubs, all of that fun stuff. And so from there, I started learning. I was like a sponge, just taking it all in. That was in 2000. In 2010, I had been working for a very small landscape company. I had graduated college, and I had just been newly remarried in October. I had 3 teenage girls. He had preteen girl and boy. We had built a beautiful house. And then comes November, the very next month after we got married, I lost my job. The company that I was working for had decided to eliminate the position that I was a general contractor for. And they folded right after that. And so I was left with a brand new marriage, a brand new house, kids going to college, and no job. And I was having this really big pity party for myself. What the heck am I going to do now? Where do I go from here? And I remember sitting in the garage, really just having a hard time. And my middle daughter, Haley, came out and sat down beside me. And I can see it still like it was yesterday.
Mm.
She
Mm.
said, Mom, what can you do? Let me help you. What can you do? And I said, you know what, Haley, I can help people. I want to help people love their landscaping.
Mm.
And I don't even know where that came from. I had not thought about that before, other than just loving what I do, as a
Mhm.
job working for somebody else. But in that moment, I said, I think I want to start my own company. And so I still have the paper today where she started writing and drawing a logo. It's not the logo I
No, she
use.
didn't. This is
Yes,
the
she did.
cutest thing
Yes.
ever.
And it's like in that moment, I said, this is what I want to do. I want to do landscape design. I want to help people, teach them how to do things, how to plant, how to take care of the plants that they have, what to do when,
Right.
and just take this passion that I've had since I was 4 years old and help people. I even came up with the name, the Southern Daisy. I left the off, it was Southern Daisy Design at the
Right.
time. This Southern accent of mine, obviously, is where the Southern came from. And Daisy was and still is one of my favorite flowers. And so I just merged the two. So in that month where I was trying to find a job, I started building my website, had zero clue what I was doing. No clue.
And this
I
is in
just started,
2010.
this was in 2010. I had
Okay.
no idea. And I didn't know who to ask. And so I found, I started doing some research to figure out what to do.
Right.
And in January, I found out I was pregnant.
Oh my.
We were not having more kids, and we found out we were having an hours baby. And so I knew in that moment, okay, I better go find a job. This dream of mine is not. I got insurance. We've got to move forward. So anyway, I find a great job, and it's crazy how my path from the time in that garage with my daughter to where I sit today, 11 years later, each job that I took, each experience that I went through taught me what I needed for here. And I fully believe that was God's hand on creating my path. So I started working. I got a job with a large landscape company as an account manager. Throughout my time there, I was in this role for about 5 years. I was solely responsible for maintaining those relationships. And I had my book of business was about 1.5 million. And that was
Wow.
on me.
Yeah.
And, I was to look at that as my very own business.
Right.
I was maintaining those clients. I was doing designs for them.
Right.
I was proposing the work for them. I was walking the site. And I was then also negotiating $1 million contracts to make sure that we maintained it while overseeing my team that worked for me. And so the experience looking back now, that's what I'm doing and how I'm taking it and using what I learned in those very early years is crazy. I had done that for a while, and I was not saying I was getting bored, but I was just sort of, hey, what else can
Mm-hmm.
I do?
Right.
And I was offered a position as a business developer, which is the front line for sales. So
Okay.
I'm not only building the relationships, I'm still maintaining the relationships. And so because I had the experience, the horticulture experience, a lot of the business developers didn't have that. So
Right.
I brought an additional level of expertise to it, but
Right.
I didn't have a lot of sales experience. In looking back, I did not like the role very much, but it's because I was pushed out of my comfort zone for the first time.
Mm.
Now I can say, I see why that was part of my story and part of my journey. I needed that because I was getting ready to take the biggest leap of faith of my life. And that was necessary to be uncomfortable in my everyday life, in my
Right.
journey. We had the pandemic hit, and we all know what that was like.
Right.
The world shut down around us. And let me back up and say, part of the struggle when I found out that I was pregnant with my daughter, it was really hard because I knew that I could not stay home with her. I had to keep working due to, financial reasons. And, the whole time that I'm working, I'm balancing the corporate world and being a mom and, to a young child. And my husband is a head football coach. And so there's all of this
awesome.
going on.
Right.
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 And
Y'all have a lot.
right. We have a lot and we have all these, so we had 6 kids. My priority is to be a mom and a wife above all. And, and so at times I felt like I was in the corporate world. I was, really struggling through that because I was making a lot of money, 6 figures, but I was struggling at home because I was bringing it home and I was wrestling with that. I couldn't be at home. I missed a lot of events at my daughter's school, and that's just not who I was.
Right.
And so every day I still in the back of my mind kept thinking I could start my own business. I could do this, but there would always be a limiting factor of why I couldn't, or an excuse I would tell myself. So fast forward, I am a business developer in the middle of a pandemic, and I still have a sales target on me during the pandemic when the world is shut down.
Right.
And the pressure to sell, you really can't sell to anybody, just about was more than I could take. And so another opportunity came to leave the company that I loved. I mean, I still love this company after 7 years. And I decided that was absolutely the role I needed to take. And that was to be a director of employee engagement. I thought I could get back to the passion of taking care of people and the employees and developing training. Well, I was to start that new job February 22nd. And that day, my father passed away.
What? And this was this year?
This was this year.
Oh, I'm so
February
sorry.
22nd.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you. And what I thought was the hardest of the hard, somehow I had to start a new job on the week. I had to start 2 days after he passed away while going through such an unbelievable loss because I was a daddy's girl.
Right.
I had to put on a straight face and brave face and take a lot of steps forward, because nobody knew at this new job, nobody knew that he had passed away. I didn't know them to say, hey, I'm Kim, by the way, my dad died this week. It was so hard. And I look back and I don't know how I really got through that other than to say God again helped me because it was hard.
Right.
I can tell you the best part of this was that on that day when my dad passed away, something inside of me changed. It was like a light switch flipped. And I went from realizing, I've got to make the money. I've got to bring home the fancy car, and I've got to life is short. And there are people that live with you that love you, and you have kids watching you and paying attention to how you are. And, and what is more important, is it money or is it your happiness and chasing your passion and loving what you do and waking up every day excited? And it took me, I went through the motions, but I just knew inside of me that new position was not where I was meant to be. I remember traveling a lot. And as I was traveling, I started listening to podcasts. And in my mind, I kept thinking, my business, I could really do this. And it got stronger and stronger and stronger. And that is when I found you. I typed in business, starting a business.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I did. But I didn't know what to even search, and literally binged. I mean, hours and hours and hours. I binged your episodes.
You're over me now, by the way.
Oh,
probably.
no, I'm so not. I love you so much.
Oh, it's so sweet.
But I would hang on your every word, and I would have to pull over and make notes because
oh my goodness,
you helped me. I didn't know how to do this. I just knew I had to do it.
Right. I love that.
And I have to say, somehow I went back to my office and I typed you in because I'd only listened to you.
Right.
And you were, you talk about downloading, resources,
yes,
16 step business starting plan.
Right.
And honestly, I went back to the computer and I was like, I'm going to download what she has. And I saw that you offered a free 15-minute consultation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember that day emailing you, and I just knew that you wouldn't write me back because, I mean, I don't know. I just thought, she's not going to write me back. You wrote me back in like 20 minutes. And I was in a restaurant and I'm literally screaming and jumping around because you wrote me. I was so excited to hear this person with all of this wisdom. It's like if I could just get to you and learn from you.
Like, this might be my ticket here. I need help.
I have arrived. Yes. And so,
awesome.
So it was crazy. From there, we had our first session. We talked and it was magical. I mean, literally magical.
Oh my gosh.
You helped me just in that 15-minute time. And I remember thinking, okay, I've got 15 minutes. I got to get, and you stayed on there for 30 minutes. And it was just like, wow, who is this person? She just can't be real. Sweet. You're just so amazing. Really.
Oh, that's so nice, Kim. My goodness. I'm very humbled. Thank you for that so much.
Of course. But, and then I booked another session with you.
Yes.
And the coolest part, you helped me come up with my mission statement. I was hooked on this mission statement. How to get it done.
You had to get that done.
And I remember you saying, you're really going to quit your job. You're really going to do it. And I said, I'm really going to do it. I really am. And you were like, okay, I love
Let's do it.
And so on July 5th of this year, I walked into the office and said, I am going to turn in my notice. I am going to start my own business.
Yes.
And I was praying that they would not make me work a 2-week notice. I just wanted to start. I didn't want to wait one more day.
Right. You didn't even want another day to have to go in.
And
the
they
office.
did. They said, you know what? We'll pay you, but you don't have to stay. And
what?
Best part of the whole thing. So I left. And of course, I'm very over the top dramatic. I'm jumping around where nobody can see me. I'm so excited. I go home and then I'm like, oh, wait, I just took this bungee jump of faith.
Right.
Not even a leap. Like I just dove headfirst off a tall building.
You did.
Now I need to get some clients. The coolest thing, and I like to call them winks, God winks.
Right.
The coolest thing, that afternoon, a friend of mine who knew that I was starting a business, who happened to be a realtor, he called me and he said, by the way, I was meeting with somebody and they need a landscape designer and he's going to call you this afternoon. What? On the day that I quit my job, before I even launched my business, I had a customer.
Okay, that gave me chills. That is amazing.
And they went from beginning to end. They had me do their design. They had the installation done.
Yes.
It's beautiful. Just incredible.
I can't even believe that. I mean, it's just so amazing how things work out. And I love the insights that you share about how, all these steps that you took, everything was prepared. God was preparing you, right? All these, positions that you had, and whether you liked them or not, it wasn't even the point. It developed you into the person, and it took you to the edge. It took you to the edge to say, you know what, you're doing this. And then your dad passing and realizing life is short, everything you've done to, get yourself, it's just heartwarming. And I hope everyone listening today, if you're listening, I mean, Kim is a shining example of following that little inkling in your soul, whether it be from 10 years ago or when you were 4 years old or whatever it may be, that you can do this and you can pursue your dream. I get what you're saying 100% because the same thing has always happened to me. I always wanted to somehow be helping people and passionately sharing a message. And I never knew what that looked like. A lot of times we don't even know what it looks like. We just know we want to move toward it. Right. And then we have those moments of breaking down or, just reality of like, what am I doing? Something's got to change. And you did it and you followed it. And look, and this is just from July, and here we are in December, and you're getting clients. So that's a big question. How are you getting clients? How have you grown your business? Because I know everyone's going to want to know this. So what have you done? What's been your approach for growing your business?
I created a website.
Okay.
I launched that about 2 weeks after I quit my job. I had worked frantically. I already had the basis of my website, but then I recreated the whole thing.
What platform are you on, by the way?
I'm on Wix.
Wix. Okay, perfect. Okay. Yep. A lot of people
very
are with that.
Very easy, user friendly, all of that good stuff.
Okay, perfect. So you're on Wix. You got a website.
So I designed my own website. I had zero
Right.
help. I
Just
didn't know
did
what
it.
I was doing. YouTube tutorials saved my life.
Okay.
And so I then created a Instagram for my business, and
Okay.
so that's where I started sharing videos. I started sharing pictures, doing a lot of education through tutorials,
Okay.
kind of
Perfect.
trying to share who I am. I genuinely love people. I'm very silly and crazy. And so for a little while I toned that down because, it's a scary world to go out and
Right.
put yourself
Right.
out there.
Right.
And then I thought, you know what? No, I need to be me because,
Right.
that's what I'm selling. Like I
Right.
don't want to
It
be
is.
a
You are
facade of who
you.
I am.
Right.
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 And so word of mouth has been huge. I've lived in this town for 30 plus years. And so that's good when I launched it, but it just takes time. It's not an overnight thing. And so just being consistent with posting on Instagram. I do have a Facebook group that I started that I also post in. I just started my blog, and hope to do a YouTube channel this year. That's my goal for
Yes.
next year.
That's your goal
Um,
for next year. I love it. So you're at the
yeah,
Southern Daisy LLC on Instagram,
yes.
and your website, is it the southerndaisy.com?
It
Yep.
sure is.
Okay. Perfect. And so your main methods that you love and get excited for, because I remember this when we were in our coaching call and I'm like, okay, how are you going to show up regularly? What do you feel comfortable doing? And you were like, Instagram, Instagram. I just know it. I can already see like it would be so much fun. And I have ideas. And you just had all these ideas exuding out of you. And so for anyone listening too, like that's what you have to think about in the very beginning. Like, what are going to be my methods? And Kim had the luxury of living in where do you live, by the way? Exactly. What's the town?
I'm in Mebane, North Carolina.
Oh, okay, perfect. So you had lived there for a long time. You had a lot of connections. Your husband's a football coach, so y'all are well known in the community, I'm sure. And you use that to your advantage, right? You get the word out, and I know he was helping you, right? Like get the word out, and right, that's how you have to do it. People, you have to be visible, and people have to know about you. You can't just sit back and expect because you've like opened the doors to your business that all of a sudden people are coming in. So you're actively posting on Instagram. You are known in your community, but you also are you involved in community like Facebook groups or anything like that
Yes.
to get known?
Yes. Okay. So my town has a community page. And so people will come on and say, oh, I need a landscape design, or I need someone that can do some installation of plants
Right.
for me, or I just
Right.
don't know what to do. Can you suggest somebody? And so I've won 3 jobs off of that. Just word of mouth. People will say,
Right.
hey, the Southern Daisy Kim Aguilar. That has been a great platform. Community
Yes.
pages.
Yes.
And I haven't gone and posted on there because it's not allowed. But through that word of mouth, it's
Yes.
been great.
Recommendations. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That's awesome. That's wonderful. And so do you plan out like your Instagram posting per week? Do you have like a plan, or you just kind of go with your gut every day or every week? Like how do you approach Instagram content?
I would love to say that I am that organized.
Yeah, I'm not
love
either.
that,
So
but
yeah,
I'm
I
not
get
going
it.
to lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. I have a plan, and most of the time I don't stick to my plan.
Okay.
I like spontaneous posts.
Yes. Yes.
I love walking down the street and seeing something. And for example, okay, the little Christmas balls that you see lit up in the trees,
Yeah.
that people make out of chicken wire, and then they wrap the lights around it. Have you seen?
Right.
It's like
Yes, I
a
have.
thing. Well, have you ever wondered how they get them up in the trees?
Yeah. How do they?
Well, I've wondered that myself. And last week I was driving through a community and I saw a guy using a slingshot. So of course I pull over 4 lanes of traffic and jump out and go and and ask him, like, what is this and how do you do? I know they thought I was crazy,
Yeah.
but I videoed it, and that's something I'm going to be talking about this week because I know that's a new thing that people are doing. And you can like slingshot them into the tree. You
Oh,
slingshot a rope, and
what?
anyway, I know.
Well, so that'll be fun.
So I
Everyone needs
like
to
the
follow her. See
spontaneous.
this? Yes,
Please.
it's
Yes.
spontaneous. And I get that too. I think everyone needs to know that about themselves. Some people are total planners and have to have like this whole calendar of every day they're going to do this. Some people are like us, where you're better on the fly. because you feel the energy in the moment. And no one method is better than the other. It's that you have to know yourself and identify that to know. And so Kim's like, yeah, that's what enables her to show up every day, is because she's
Absolutely.
allowed to have that freedom. And how do you get over? Because I know a lot of people, this is what a lot of new business owners say that I'm talking to. And they're like, I'm scared how I look on Instagram. And what if I'm not saying it right? What if it's not a professional video and it's not this? Tell us how you do it so you can put everybody to ease about how to show up.
Listen, here. This is my advice. Just do it. Be like Nike and just do it. Really. Because there are so many times when I think, oh, I sounded so bad, but you know what? I still showed up. I did it. And you have to start somewhere. I bet a year from now, my videos aren't going to look the same. They'll be better, and they'll be better. But you're never going to get better if you don't start. And I do a lot of research. I try and find tips on ways to, to show up and how, to stand, or the right equipment. But really and truly, it's all about you and who you are and being genuine. And I just say, I just do it, like, do it afraid. I just do it.
Right. You just go for it and show up. Yeah. Now I noticed on your I was looking at your Instagram feed because I follow you, of course, and your videos are so cute. And I just have to know, how do you put the little like graphic text area? Like, you always have a text box with some graphics. Like, how do you edit your videos? What's your secret behind that?
Okay. So that's an app called Splice.
Oh.
And it was something my daughter told me about. Yes.
Oh.
It is just a very easy app. I edit everything from my phone. You take a picture, you take a video, you can combine all of it. You can speed it up, you can slow it down.
What?
You can add music to it, you can add text to it, you can add it throughout the whole. I mean, there's just a lot that the app can do. It's a paid app. So I think it's like you can pay weekly, monthly, or yearly. But it's been worth its weight in gold.
How does it work with the music, like the rights to music? Like, what music is in there?
So that's something I'm still trying to figure out. The music in there is just instrumental. It's allowed.
It's allowed because they have the rights to it, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's something that I need to understand better. I had made a video and it got taken down because of copyright, although I bought the music. I don't know. I don't quite understand that.
Me either. I'm not totally.
Yes. I would like to understand that a little bit better. But yeah, this I've never had a problem with.
Okay. So you do it all on your phone. You video with your phone. So you don't do any live videos that I've seen. Is that right? Yes. It's all recorded. You record yourself, then you edit it real quick. And you do it quick. Is it quick? And you do it real quick. And then you just post it back up.
No, not always. Sometimes I'll, it'll take me a little bit of time to do it.
Like, what do you mean?
And I don't post it right away. So like if I was doing a tutorial and I'm going to you can do a voiceover on here. So you can be videoing and then talk over yourself.
Oh, okay.
Videoing, you can go back and do a voiceover, which is a really cool feature. And so, depending on how in depth the video, it could take an hour. It could take 5 minutes.
And how do you find the hashtags that you want to use?
I follow a lot of people that have Instagram pages. That are gardening, that are horticulture related. And so I'll look at their hashtags and see, and then I like to go to the hashtag and see what that hashtag encompasses, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And so I've just played around. I change them up all the time.
You do?
I do use 30 because I think that's the allotted amount.
Right.
And so I do use 30 and I try and make them, I do the Southern Daisy. So I have my stuff and then I have just different ones I'll use. Like if I'm doing my daily daisy, which is my little quick tutorial type thing, I will label that just so I have it all in one place type thing.
Yes. Okay.
But really it's just I don't even know how I'm doing it.
You're just doing it. And I mean, that's like, people ask me that, like the tricks with the podcast and all that. I'm like, there is no trick. I'm just doing it. I'm just showing up every week,
Yeah.
passionately doing the way that I feel like showing up. And that's what you've done. This is the avenue that you knew that you wanted to show up and you wanted to demonstrate and show, to teach everyone about plants. And, I have a brown thumb, so I love what you're doing because I need to learn and be better. My husband wishes I
You
was
don't
better.
have a brown thumb.
Yes,
You
I
just
feel like
don't
I do.
know yet. I'm going to help you.
You're going to help me. Yes, I need it. So I think there's a lot of people that could totally benefit from what you're doing. And I love what you said too, because it's almost like you are creating your own lane here. There's probably not a lot that are doing, like your Daily Daisy, or like showing up, talking about plants and landscape design and consulting. And I think that's what's awesome is that it may be hard to find someone doing exactly what you're doing. You've created a lane. And so everyone listening, like, how are you showing up on Instagram? Are you being just like everyone else? Or are you just quieting the noise around you and saying, how do I want to show up? What do I want to be doing? This was all stuff you came up with. And that's what I love. Yeah, everything's it was your idea. And you made it easy on yourself to say, I'm not going to have the pressure of this has to be totally professional. And you do it. You just show up, you have an idea and you move forward with it and you go. And I think that's amazing. So Instagram's helped you, word of mouth has helped you, posting in, or no, I'm sorry, you not posting, but people recommending you in community groups, because I know in our community Facebook groups, we're not my neighborhoods, people are always recommending painters and plumbers and electricians. So this fits that so well. It's just you're begging to be recommended by people. If you just give someone good service in your community, you're going to be recommended. So what has been your favorite part of being a small business owner? And by the way, you're an entrepreneur too. I think a lot of new business owners are scared to call themselves an entrepreneur, but you are. But
Yes.
as a small business owner, what has been the best thing for you about it? Like, what has been awesome about it?
So the greatest gift has been by far being able to help my daughter get ready for school in the morning, helping her I just always wanted to brush her hair and fix it in the morning and then take her in the car rider line to school and sit in the morning and talk. And then from 2:00 to 3:00, I have a daily appointment where I get to go and sit in the car rider line. And I get to pick her up every single day. And I get to hear about how her day went.
Okay. This is going to make me cry.
To me, this is the greatest gift because I missed so much of it. And even though she's getting to the age where, she doesn't necessarily want me always there, it's like, for me, I'll sit in the car rider line and I just start crying because I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful to be able to take a day off here or there if I want to be present here with my family and to get back to what's important to me.
Right.
And it's just so freeing to be able to do what matters to me while doing what matters to me, So I get to do both. I get to have my cake and eat it too. And I do love cake.
I know. Yes, exactly. That is just so, so touching. It really is. And I think a lot of you out there that are listening that, you've had this yearning and this little inkling, like this is what it's about. Living the life that you've dreamed of, to be able to be present in the ways that you want to be present, to be able to make money doing what you love, to be able to make a difference in this world. And you can do it through your business. And it's just, Kim, I love that you shared that. So I have to ask, because people are going to know, okay, is it all sunshines and rainbows? Everything's amazing that you're saying, but what's the hard part about this? What's the reality of leaving a full-time position where you were making six figures, you were doing very well? What's the reality of like, okay, now I'm responsible for this? What's been hard about it?
I think it's the realization that it's all on me. Sink or swim, it's on me. I'm so grateful to my husband, who has been my biggest supporter from day one and encourager. But I guess I just don't want him to ever say, no, man, I wish you wouldn't have done this. Because we went from a very comfortable lifestyle to, I don't know how I'm still, the business is just steady. It is steady.
It is steady.
By no means am I wealthy from it.
Right.
But it's just steady and it's consistent. And,
Good.
it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. This should be my slow time, in the winter, and it's not.
And it's not.
And so not knowing, I guess, would be a struggle.
Yeah.
I have such peace and such happiness. I don't have stress when
good.
it comes to this business. However, I don't want to ever work for someone ever again unless I want to. And so I guess that's constantly in the back of my mind. You better hustle. You better hustle hard. Show up every day, be consistent. Like normally I would take the next 2 weeks off because it's Christmas, but I run my own business and I can take the time off that I want to, but I don't want to not continue doing what I'm doing.
Right. You just can't, because you love it so much. I mean, that's our dream, is to be doing something that doesn't even feel like work. It doesn't feel like, because you love it so much. I mean, that's how I feel about what I do. I love it. I could talk about it all the time. I could listen to podcasts about it all the time. I mean, right. And that's you. Like you love it. You love to immerse yourself in everything about design, landscape design and horticulture and plants and helping people. I mean, that's what I hear you say too, is that you just love it. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's the struggle for new entrepreneurs. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I want people to realize the truth of it. Like not everybody's making $1 million in, whatever time. You see this online all the time, and it absolutely makes me crazy, because the majority are not, they just quit their job. They're not making that yet. They're going to get there. They're going to do it. It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of experimenting, and it's, coming to terms with it. And if you don't have the ability to not make as much money over the next year, if you don't have that ability, then you can't do that. You cannot quit your full-time job and go in. You have to know the reality of the situation is you're not going to have as much money. If you're good with that, then you go for it, because now you have this whole year, like what you're doing, like your whole first year, you started in July. So you've got another 7 months, and your biggest season of the year is coming. Like you said, this is supposed to be the dead time. This isn't even supposed to be the big time for your type of business. And so how exciting is that? And I love that you have peace about it. When you said that, what it says to me is that you have such a strong faith. You know that God is doing everything for good in your life, and whatever is thrown in your path, you're going to take that on. But you know that everything has prepared you to get to right here today, where like you said, I just can't even, it makes me want to cry, because I think about you saying the things like wanting to be in the car line and wanting to, brush your daughter's hair. These are not normal things that we say we are yearning to do. Like, I want to go in car line today. I want to go sit in the car line and I want to brush out tangles out of my daughter's hair this morning. I've been dreaming that. That's something I've never said. Right. But here is someone who had a full-time job that never got to be present in those situations, and is now taken the steps to make it happen. You've come full circle. You are doing this. You're going to keep doing what you're doing and showing up every day in a way that feels comfortable and authentic to you. And you're going to keep pursuing this and do this and make a difference in people's lives, so they love their homes and they love driving up to their house and seeing it, and are proud of what they've learned and accomplished through making their yard look amazing. It's just, Kim, it's just so heartwarming. You are a true success story. You are, whether, you're making hundreds and hundreds of thousands or not, it doesn't matter. You're doing this and you're going to get there because you are so driven, and you're going to make it happen. You're going to do it. I have no doubt. And you're just a joy. You light up a room. I've seen you only on Zoom, and I can honestly say you light up a Zoom room. And how many people can I say do that? You do. I love your bulletin boards behind you. I see those everyone. We've been on our calls. I see all your cute stuff, and there's drawings maybe from other people and notes, it looks like, and just, you got your cross back there, and you got your whiteboard with the cute plant magnets, which, by the way, I have the same magnets. You have this all together. I could see it from the moment I met you. So I can't tell you how honored I am to be able to share you with the world. I can't tell you how much your kind words mean to me. It's so sweet. And I can't tell you how excited I am that you get to brush your daughter's hair and go to car line. That's literally the headline of this, is that you have the freedom that you always dreamed of, and you get to make money doing what you love. And I'm so happy for you. So y'all, please follow her on the Southern Daisy LLC on Instagram. You can check out her site, because you do virtual calls, right?
Yes,
for landscape design and consulting.
we don't even have to do your landscape if you want to learn how to plant a pot. If you just want to learn how to start a garden
I love that.
in a pot or grow some succulents, I'm your girl.
You know what? There's so much you can do with your idea and everyone, whatever your idea is, there's so many avenues. And again, it's creating a lane of one and doing your own thing and not worrying about what everyone else is doing. But anyways, Kim, I am so, so happy to have you. I'm excited about the future of your business. We have to keep in touch because I have to know what happens. I gotta check in all the time. I have to message you on Instagram or something because I gotta see what's going on and how everything's doing. So thank you again so much for being here and best wishes to you, my friend.
Thank you. You are such a gift.
Thank you. Okay, bye. Oh my goodness. How awesome is Kim Aguilar? I just absolutely love having her on the show. I think she is a shining example of what is possible for you too. Yes, you can have the freedom that you so desire by running your own business, doing what you love, doing what you're good at, and waking up every day going, am I really getting paid for this? How awesome is this? This is how I feel every day. So I just want to invite you today, if you are in the very early stages of your business, you're trying to figure out how to turn what you know and love into a business. Maybe you need help with just some of the steps. Like when I talked to Kim on our strategy calls, she literally had a list of questions, right? And some people come to me that way. They're just like, I need to know how to do this. What should I do about this? Where do I go? And you get them all taken care of and done so that you can take action and move forward with your business. Or if you're in that stage where you're like, I need help with my plan. Well, great news. We can do a 90-minute strategic coaching session and work out your whole plan for getting started and kind of give you that 10,000-foot view of your business, what all you need to be doing, and help you, set yourself up for success, right? So make sure you click all the links below. Again, I'm just so happy you're here and would love to help you and would be so honored to help you start living your business dream because, yep, it can happen for you too. Okay, have a great day. Bye now.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com, and yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.